Welcome to our virtual summit session dedicated to demystifying the complexities of pricing for profitability in your business. Join Senior Director of Product, Connor Keenley, as he walks you through pricing and job costing tools. Over to you, Connor.
Hi, I'm Connor. I'm the Senior Director of Product here at Housecall Pro on our core product team. In this session, we're going to go through how you should be using your price book in Housecall Pro to price your jobs and services for profitability. So a couple of different things we'll talk through here, including our services and materials within our price book, pricing forms, which is a newer feature coming out to all of our pros this summer. And then we'll also talk through job costing and flat rate pricing, which is more applicable to mechanical industries, but can be used across the board. So let's jump right in. So I'm looking at my price book here, and these are all of the services that I can provide to my customers. The value of having your price book is being able to define your services so that your pricing and content that you're using on your jobs is consistent no matter which employee is building out your job. So here I'm looking at my services and materials. This is going to allow you to split out different services you're providing to the customers and then the materials you're using on those jobs. You can see here I have photos added to all my categories. All my services are broken out by different category, by industry. This just makes it easier for your technicians and your employees to find these rather than having to search for them individually. More can look into the specific category, look across the different options, find the one that's right for them, and then add it to the job. So looking at one specific service here, a couple basic things. You have the name and description, which your customer is going to see, the price of the service you're going to charge your customer, and then finally the cost, which is only visible to you and to your employees that you allow to see that. Materials are largely the same, and both can be used on jobs interchangeably. So now looking at estimate templates, we built estimate templates to enable you to build out good, better, best options or multiple different options for each service that your employees can quickly and easily add to jobs, whether in the office or in the field. So here I can build out all of the services, all of the line items and materials that all would be available on the estimate itself. That way your employees don't have to build these out every single time they do the job. They can simply grab from the templates, throw it directly onto the estimate, provide it to your customer, get the approval, and move on. Another piece of functionality we released in the last couple months is called pricing forms. The idea behind pricing forms is to allow you to price your jobs based off of the variables that go into them. The best example here is for a cleaning company that is pricing off of beds and baths. So in this pricing form, what you would do is go and define the different variables that go into it. So if I was a cleaner, I would do number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, maybe number of floors in the house, if a kitchen is included or not. And what this allows me to do is use this pricing form directly on the job and quickly and easily enter in the variables, whether it's 3 bed, 2 bath, square footage of the home, and get a consistent price every single time. This takes the guesswork out of having to come up with these prices and allows your employees a lot more autonomy in building jobs and pricing them, while you as an owner can ensure you're still guaranteeing your profitability and your profit margins that you need to run your business. The last piece we'll go into here is flat rate pricing and job costing. So flat rate pricing allows you to price your jobs based off of the material costs and amount of estimated labor that you think is going to go into the service you're providing. This allows you to give your customer a flat rate price up front that isn't going to change on them. They can agree to it and be more comfortable with paying and not having the variability of not knowing what the charge is going to be up front, and allows you to ensure that your profit margins are going to be included in that job because you're working and pricing based off of all the inputs that go into it, like your materials and labor. So looking at the service I have built out as a flat rate price, this is a water heater service. I have the name and description that the customer is going to see. Then here in labor rates, I've said that a lead technician needs to do this work, and it's going to take them about 3.5 hours. I've set up the cost to me, what it's going to cost me to pay that technician for 3.5 hours. I also have here the price at which I'm going to charge the customer for that labor. They're not going to see this. So this is all just for my own reporting, but this allows me to get granular reporting and look deeper into exactly where my profitability is coming from. Then finally at the bottom, I have all of the materials that are going to go into that service. So again, these are just estimated materials. These can be changed on the job itself, but all of these have been added. You can see the cost of which I have to pay for them, and then the price at which I'm charging the customer for them based off of all of the markups and margins I've worked into this. So by adding all of that, you can see the total breakdown of cost and price by labor, materials, and service, and then my estimated profit margin at the bottom here at 29%. One last important piece in the price book is the service price adjuster. So what the service price adjuster allows you to do is quickly and easily adjust the prices of the services in your price book. This is really helpful when doing price increases or adjusting prices for material price cost increases. It allows you quickly and easily go across all of your services, some of your services, to apply either a dollar or a percentage increase or decrease to their price. So what I'm going to do is simply go in, select the categories and services that I want to have a price increase or decrease on, select the amount that I want to move it by. I'll do 5%. If I want to round to the nearest dollar, so that's a whole dollar amount, I can click that button here and simply save. And now that's going to adjust all of the services in my price book to ensure I'm maintaining that profit margin and am able to ensure I'm getting the value and getting the actual profitability that I want out of these services. So I've added that hot water heater to a job, and now I'm going to go through and look at the profitability of the actual job itself. So I have my line item added here. Then at the bottom, you can see all of the materials that came over from the price book onto the job itself. So these materials can be changed, whether you're using more or less of something. All of this can be edited by your technicians, both in the office or out in the field. Then finally, in the job costing breakdown, it's going to show me how much of my margin is going towards those materials, and then how much of that margin is going towards labor. The labor is driven off of the time that's clocked against the job by your employee. So it'll be accurate for each individual job rather than just a generic labor assumption. This will go off the total amount of time that each of your employees spends directly on these jobs. So that's our price book functionality and how to price for profit in Housecall Pro. Now let's take a couple questions from the chat. Let me see what we've got. Okay, here's a first good one to jump into. One of the questions we got is, can I build my own price book? And the answer is yes. So everything we looked at there was you going through and managing your own content, building out your own pricing and services for what you want to provide to your customers. We also have an option for you to purchase a price book from Housecall Pro. We've partnered with Profitability, who has built out a flat rate price book in plumbing, electrical, and HVAC. It includes thousands of services using multiple different suppliers and vendors to ensure you can get the exact services that you need to run your business. All of these services are pre-built out. They include industry average pricing, estimates on the amount of labor that will go into them, as well as the materials that will be used on them. They also have photos, descriptions, and names that you can use in front of your customers to give them an idea of the services you're providing to them. We also have the Profitability price book that's available to purchase from Housecall Pro directly. Profitability has built out a flat rate pricing price book for plumbing, electrical, and HVAC industries. That price book can be purchased directly from Housecall Pro and added directly into your account. The services in there include the materials that should be used, the estimated labor that go into those services, all of that using industry average cost for materials and labor that goes into it. Those price books are available for $149 a month across all plan tiers and can be added directly into your account today. The last couple. And finally, the last question here is, what content should be included on services in your price book? That's a really good question. The services in your price book is how you're describing to your customer the value you're providing to them. So these are the things they're going to see on the invoice. These are the things they're going to read to try to understand what you did while they're at their house and what they're actually paying for. It's really helpful to include a customer-facing name, meaning something the average person off the street can read and understand what it is, as well as the description that goes deeper but not too deep into what you actually did while you were there. Include the specific items you did while you were there, include any parts that were used, all of that to just make them feel like they're receiving the total value of what they're paying for from your company. So I always suggest include customer-facing name, customer-facing description, and then if you can put photos in there, that's super helpful as well. Those photos will show on estimates, they'll show on invoices, they'll show on the actual links when your customers are looking at these and viewing them through our customer portal and through our pay invoice links. The more content and the more visual you can make these, the better it will serve you and your brand as a company. So those are all the questions we have here. If you have any more questions about pricing for profitability, the price book, flat rate pricing, or Profit Rhino, be sure to visit the Pricing for Profitability booth in the virtual expo floor. Thanks.
Thank you for joining our session on pricing for profitability. Remember, the journey to mastering pricing is ongoing, and it requires continuous evaluation and adaptation. We encourage you to apply what you've learned and continue refining your pricing strategies to maximize your bottom line. Thank you for joining us. If you have any more questions or would like help activating these features, be sure to check out those product booths in the virtual expo floor or check out our website for more.